I'm here to kick human manipulating zombie ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of bubble gum.
Here's where geoengineering comes in. Plan B has two parts. The first part is to literally pull carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. The other scheme is to increase the albedo, right? So I can turn up the albedo, make the Earth shinier. And this is called solar radiation management. So remember those two terms. So there have been a number of schemes proposed for geoengineering, and I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to pick a few examples, but they're generally bent into two groups. One is solar radiation management, which is basically cutting back on the amount of incoming solar radiation, whether I'm using sunshades in space or doing things in the atmosphere.
Sunshades in space or doing things in the atmosphere,
Or changing the Earth's surface. And the other option is pulling CO2 out of the atmosphere, CO2 removal, using a lot of different techniques. I'm going to talk about a few. So, method one for reducing the amount of sunlight hitting the Earth is called stratospheric aerosol injection. What does that mean? Well, scientists pay attention to what happens in the natural environment. And something they've known for a long time is when you have very large volcanoes, we see a drop in temperature around the world. Why does that happen? Well, very big volcanoes like Mount Pinatubo that erupted in the Philippines several times, but in 1991, it lofted so much stuff into the stratosphere in the form of aerosols, sulfur dioxide, that you actually get a haze. This dark layer here is an after photo. Here's a before photo looking in the atmosphere, here's an after. So we're taking a lesson from Mother Nature. So the idea is, well, if Mother Nature can do that, why don't we? So there have been a variety of schemes proposed, ranging from zany to pretty low tech. And they all have to do with getting aerosols into the stratosphere and keeping them there for years and years and years. So for example, if we used existing technology, if we used aircraft, this would be the equivalent of taking a small airline and just saying, you do nothing but spray aerosols in the stratosphere for the next N decades. So think about how much that costs. Buy your own airline and do nothing but spray this stuff into the stratosphere.
Think about how much that costs. Buy your own airline and do nothing but spray this stuff into the stratosphere.
I'll come back to why these things are problematic. I'm just giving you an introduction. So thinking critically, seriously, what are the problems with these? So this is built on some work by Alan Robach, one of my colleagues, and also Mike McCracken, and I've tried to condense it to look at both the solar radiation management and carbon dioxide removal. And if we just look at the climate system, the environmental systems, there are a lot of issues. One is it's known from looking at volcanic eruptions and this cooling effect that you get uneven heating, and you actually cause drought in some areas. So country A decides to do geoengineering and they cause a drought in country B. The missiles start flying. What happens if we stop it abruptly? If we can't get control of CO2 and we start injecting stuff in the stratosphere, it's costing us $10 billion a year, and we have an economic meltdown or a natural disaster or a volcano erupts and we can't fly airplanes for a while. What happens if that shield is removed quickly?